All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to look at our Google Classroom. I need to present. Did I already hit that? Nope, I did not. Let me present my screen to you, just so we're looking at the same thing. I know. I'm doing it now. There we go. It's got a lot to do, man. I'm not very tech savvy. I'm not very tech savvy. I'm also very forgetful, and not the brightest crayon in the box either, or the sharpest tool in the shed. All right, sharing my screen. All right, now can you see it? Yes, I am recording. All right, cool. All right, so let's look at our Google Classroom page together. All right. Uh, okay, Google Classroom. There we go. All right, so this is what it looks like. Yesterday we went over the causes to World War One. We're gonna come back to that tomorrow as well. Okay. So yesterday we talked about the causes of World War One. We'll come back to that and just kind of review a little bit of that. Today, what I want to focus on is kind of a broader question. The bell ringer that I posted today. Make sure that you respond to this. I did make this due by the end of class, just so I can kind of easily keep up with who is in our live sessions and who is not. Do have some variety in the answers, which that's perfectly fine. That's why I asked the questions, because I think this is something that we really need to take into consideration. So, what we're going to be discussing today is World War One weaponry. Now, I will go ahead and preface this. We are going to talk very generalized about World War One weaponry today. We're not going to talk about specific models, by specific countries, because first we need to understand what these weapons are generally before we can talk anything about specific uses of these weapons. Okay. Um, I do also want to make sure to tell you that again, our goal, um, you know, our class is, I don't know, why is that? There we go. Our class is about, obviously, it's about American warfare, like we said, during the 20th century. 20th century was the deadliest. I'm going to say this a couple times because I need you to understand what I'm saying. It was the deadliest, bloodiest century in human history. Okay, you listening? The 20th century. So 1900 to 1999 was the bloodiest, deadliest century in human history. We need to understand why that is. So we will be talking a lot about the brutality of war. We'll be talking a lot about the weaponry that is used, but also we're going to be talking about. Oh, my battery is. Let me plug my computer up real quick. We're also going to be talking about a lot of the political causes and implications, as well as the social causes and implications. So we're taking a very broad. I shouldn't say broad, because broad, when we say broad, that typically think that means we're not going to go in detail. That's not what I mean. But we're going to take a large view of war. It's not going to be just about like the combat. It's going to be about kind of 20th century war as a whole. Okay, it's important to me. It's important to me because you know, well, if we can prevent the 20th century happening again, that'd be very advantageous to all of us because we all live in this century. Let me check the chat real quick. Okay. Do you listen to what do you listen to newer music like stuff we would like? Okay. Random. I'll answer it really quickly. I don't know. Define newer. Like Eminem just dropped side B to Music Be Murdered by. I've been listening to that nonstop for the past. When did that come out? 3 weeks ago. Been listening to that for 3 weeks. Been listening to Dax. He's newer. I don't know if y'all know who that is. I like him. I listen to some, like very small new rap. I don't really listen to any new rock. So yeah, I guess probably not, Gage. It's covering a lot of things considering music. Said one time, yeah, Eminem, J. Yeah, I like J. Cole. I thought J. Cole was coming out with a new album. It was trending on Twitter like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I got all excited, and then nothing. A little pump. Come on now. Okay, all right, fair enough, Gage. Devin, hold on real quick. It's because there were like 5 wars, especially with both of the world wars. That's why it's the bloodiest century, I think. You've got a very good point. Very good point. And the reason why, excuse me, I had to get the lights back on. The reason why there were 2 world wars and the reason why there wasn't necessarily a real world war before the 20th century is because the technology hadn't increased to the point where people were able to essentially travel. Think about it. Think about this for a second. And then we'll get to our bell ringer. Then we'll get to our assignment for today. But I want you to think about this for a second. Before the invention of the automobile, somebody look up, because I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not going to look it up at this exact moment. Look and tell me what year the automobile was invented. The automobile. So we're talking about like a car. Like what year was that invented? Look that up for me. And whoever can get to it first and type it in the chat, I highly appreciate you. 1886. Thank you. 1886. All right. Now, that's when the first one was invented. That does not mean that it was available to everyone. That just means that was the first year it was invented. Look up and tell me when Henry Ford invented the Model T. Okay, Henry Ford and the Model T, because the Model T would be the first automobile that was available to like the public, like mass, public. It took, yeah. You're right. It took that to be 1908. Thank you. Very good. So it's not until 1908 that like regular people have an automobile. Before that, like, dude, very, very, very astronomically small percentage of people actually had an automobile. So again, people are traveling by horse, traveling by, depending on their location, by camel. Again, like, dude, that was not this travel. You couldn't travel. Yeah, you're right. Very good, Colby. He did come up with the assembly line. Yeah, it was like the elites. It was those that had a lot of money and could afford it. And even then, you want to know something? Like the first automobiles, they're like topping out at like 10, 20 miles an hour. So they're not like, this isn't very helpful, right? All right. So somebody tell me when the first, we should know this. We should all know this without having to look it up. When was the airplane invented? When was the first flight? We should know this. We're in North Carolina. Oh my gosh. We live in what? We live in North Carolina. 1901. How'd you know? You got it right. Well, hold on. How'd you get 1901? Because you're the only one that's actually even answered. Don't ask you on dates. I have to ask you on dates. This is important. You should know this date. The Wright brothers' first flight. What year we got? Don't ask me dates. Levi says 1901. Is Levi right? Is Levi right?
I'm always right.
You're not right. It's 1903, dummy. 1903, December 17th. So it wasn't until 1903 that the first airplane was invented. So there was not the ability for mass travel outside of the only way the mass transportation. Again, this is the first airplane invented at the very end of 1903. So it's not going to be used for like travel purposes until honestly after World War I. The only way that you're getting a lot of people from one place to another is by ship. That's it. So world wars weren't fault. Yeah, seriously. So world wars didn't have the potential to be fought until World War I. World War I changes things. What's funny is that there's one battle in which, like, I'm trying to think, is this the French? I think it's the French. French soldiers are taking taxi cabs to the front lines because that's the fastest way to get people out there. 11 tabs open. Dude, I've closed so many today. Don't even get me started. All right. So so technology, dude, one of y'all going to have to take care of Greg. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it with Greg. All right. All right. So my question to you guys, does the increasing technology make war more humane or less humane? All right. So here's the results so far. Again, if you have not answered this, then Gage, yeah, you missed a lot. Don't lie to him. All right. So we have a variety of responses here. The options are more humane, less humane, both, neither. Looks like right now both is in the lead. It makes war both more humane and less humane. Could somebody? Okay, Carissa, I understand. All right, we'll come back. Well, because of that, we'll come back to our bell ringer here in just a minute, okay? But if you hadn't answered that already, make sure that you do so. Let me go ahead and introduce your assignment to you, and then we'll talk more about this because it directly correlates to our assignment, okay? All right. So our assignment today is World War I weaponry, okay? You know, we've got some opinions. We've got some different opinions as to whether the increasing technology makes war more humane or less humane. I want you to think about that for a little bit. But in order for us to better answer that question, we need to understand what type of weaponry was used in World War I. And so that's what we're going to work on today, okay? And I'm going to introduce this to you. You guys probably will be off of here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. But I want to go ahead and show you a couple things real quick, okay? So introduction real quick. The weaponry of World War I was innovative and deadly. Technology was embraced to find more efficient ways of killing men during battle. Today, we will look at the most common weapons associated with World War I, and we will determine whether this weapon can still be used in war today. The purpose of today's assignment is to understand some basic information about these weapons before we begin talking about their use in battle. Different countries are going to have different versions of these weapons, but their core functions are similar. I've posted the following links to give you resources to pull from, and I've listed 2 right there. We'll take a look at those. You should be able to find the basic information, the description, advantages, disadvantages in the above links. However, you may need to independently search to answer the question, is the weapon still used in war today? Okay, so let's open this chart real quick. I already have it open. I have it open in 2 spots. That's part of it, Devin, is that I open the same tabs over and over. I got 2. It happens. I can't be hard on myself. Y'all do a good enough job of that. Okay, so World War I weaponry chart. World War I weaponry. I mean, you talk about a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. I bet you can't. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's see. World War. Now I can't do it. World War I weaponry. All right. So here on the left, you see the weapons, okay? The weapons that we're going to be talking about. And again, these are very general terms. These are not specific models or anything like that. This is just the core function, the core weapon that is being used, because we need to understand what that is before we can talk really about anything else in terms of like how the battles are being fought, which that'll be probably more so what we're getting into next week with trench warfare. Then we'll get to talk about some trench foot. Everybody loves trench foot. All right, so we have the weapon. The weapons that we are going to talk about are as listed: machine gun, flamethrower, mortar, poison gas, tanks, grenades. My computer's being slow. Submarines, artillery, aircrafts, and rifles. Okay, so those are. I want to use all of those at least. Okay, you're going into work right now. I see you, Amari. Thank you for getting on. That's gross. Toxic gas. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's funny is that there's a lot of room for error. There's a lot of room for error with these different gases. They're going to use several different gases, mainly the Germans. And the thing about using gas, you have to be very cognizant of the way the wind is blowing. No, I'm definitely not going to get any flamethrower that Elon Musk made. And you'll see why. They didn't have shotguns back then. All right. Anyways, let's get back to. Let me see. There was another comment up here. Is this assignment hard? I don't believe so. I try to make it pretty simple. Okay. So those are the weapons we're going to be talking about. Now, if you look at the top of our screen, again, you look at the top of our screen, I'm sharing it with you if it pulls up, you'll see what I'm asking you to tell me about. And you don't have to give me this doesn't have to be in complete sentences. It's honestly probably better if you don't. Just give me brief descriptions. I do want you to be thorough. That's not saying that I just want you to just skim over it and just barely get anything done. No, I want you to be thorough, but at the same time, you don't have to write these in complete sentences. You can just kind of list it, especially with the advantages and disadvantages. So here's what I'm asking you. What is it? So what is a machine gun? I want you to give me a description of what a machine gun is. Now, some of you may be able to tell me without necessarily looking up any type of definition. Let's try that again. Some of you may be able to tell me what some of these are without giving me, a distinct definition. But I do want you to make sure you know exactly what you're talking about before you write something down. We will go over this, so you'll have the ability to make some changes, stuff like that. But again, do a little bit of reading, even if it's just kind of skimming over, making sure that you know what you're talking about. At least do that. So, what is it? Give me a description. Give me a description, okay? Advantages. So, what advantage would a machine gun have? Why would a machine gun be? Why would that be good for? Hold on. What are we arguing? What are we arguing for? All right. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Gage. Yeah. Fire rate. Fire rate. It. I mean, the faster that you can fire bullets, and again, these are large clips that are being used as well. The more deadly it can be. So it definitely has some advantages, but it also has some disadvantages. I want you to, again, do a little bit of reading. I've posted some links for you, and I want you to read through that and tell me some of the advantages, some of the disadvantages. And then the last part is this still allowed in war today? Again, some of the links that I've given you, some of them tell you whether they are used in warfare today. Some of them don't, okay? So you may need to independently search that question. But again, that's a quick Google search, and you can simply put yes or no in this box. So that's pretty quick, pretty simple, okay? I'm the heavy weapons guy, and this is my weapon. Many of you, if you've played war, games, let's see, what was it? Battlefield 1. That was based on World War I. I actually bought that game to learn a little bit more about World War I. I know it sounds silly, but it is. You're pretty much. It's first person simulation of it, so it kind of gives you a decent idea. I do like sniping. All right, so this is your assignment. So I'll let those that again need to get off. I'll let you guys be able to kind of draw from this pretty quickly. These are the 2 links I've given you. Don't feel like these are the only links that you can use. You can use other links, but these are pretty good links. First one is this one right here: HistoryNet, Weapons of World War. Golly, tongue twisters, man, tongue twisters. Weapons of World War. That page looks as so. I got an email. Okay. And again, it goes through and it has Like, yeah, there you go. Like rifles, machine guns. It tells you just a little bit about it. Very short descriptions. Again, not trying to bog you down in information, just trying to make sure that you know what we are talking about. The second link that I posted for you is this right here, firstworldwar.com weaponry. So again, it gives you kind of an introduction. And as you see right here, it also has like some of the weapons. It doesn't have all of them. It doesn't have all of them. Why is there dresses popping up on my? I don't know. I don't know why there's women's clothing popping up. But it doesn't have all of them, but it has almost all of them. But between the two, you can definitely knock this out. Okay. I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you guys today and tomorrow to get this part done. So it's going to be due tomorrow night. I will have some more notes for you tomorrow, some kind of brief ones. But for this assignment, I want you to knock this out over, just get it in by tomorrow night. That's what I'm saying. Now, I also want to say this. These first week or two, maybe even into next week, with us kind of doing this whole hybrid thing in class and and online, I'm going to give you guys I'm going to give you guys a little bit of latitude on due dates, but my goal is to assign something to you, in class, and then, you have it turned in by the next class. That's not for everything. But that is for, I would like that to be like our routine. Okay. So I'm trying to work with you, especially here towards the beginning, but as we move on, that is my goal. Okay. So yeah, that is your assignment. Make sure that you've knocked out the bell ringer. It looks like most people have. We will discuss a little bit more. We'll discuss this question a little bit more tomorrow, because I want you guys to do a little research on the weaponry of World War I. And then we can kind of talk about whether we think increasing technology is making war more humane or less humane. Honestly, this is going to be a question that we ask throughout the semester. So there's really no reason to necessarily try to, 100% come to a conclusion today, but that's something to keep in the back of your mind. Honestly, I might post this question. Post this question periodically throughout our study during the semester. Okay. All right. So I appreciate you guys. I hope that you're having a great day. I hope that you continue to have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Just make sure you get that done for me and get it turned in. We will go over that. If you don't have any questions or don't want to keep chatting about Call of Duty, which I will school all of you in, you are free to go, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, nobody gonna respond to my trash talk?
You wouldn't beat me in Call of Duty. I'm sorry.
No, you couldn't beat me. You couldn't beat me in any game.
In any game. Oh God, that's strong words. Now I do like some Call of Duty. I've been ever since the whole COVID thing, I've been playing some Warzone with my buddies. We got us a win last night.
Get Siege.
Hold on 1 second. I need to stop presenting this. Why is this? Have you watched Oversimplified? Yes, I have.
Because Warzone
Well, I'm gonna go do some schoolwork. Adios, amigos.
See ya. What'd you say?
All right, bye, Charlie.
All right, see you, dude.
Just get Siege.
Get Siege?
No.
Yes.
Don't do it. What's it like? Because I have no clue.
Competitive. It's very competitive.
Well, okay. Like, I mean,
It's the 5v5 one life.
huh?
First person shooter.
Well, I get that, but like, is there like a time period?